Hello everybody, it's Austin and welcome back to the KotLC fanbase. Today's video is going to be about the ship war, and let's just say I have a different perspective on things, or should I say different perspectives. So today before recording, I think I posted this about 8 hours before, I did a community post on YouTube and I said to everybody, what is your favorite ship? Tell me reasons why you think it's the best and why do you think this will work out in the long term. A lot of people replied with their ships and I'm going to be going over most of them in this video. There are a lot of comments that I would have to go over, maybe more around like 30 to 40, and I don't think I can do that in this video. Can't wait to read over these ships so that I can see what the rest of the community thinks about, Sokeefe, Sofitz, and other ships like that, and even some LGBTQ ships I saw in there. So it's gonna be awesome to see how other people's ships are and what their favorite ones are. Before we get in this video, make sure to like, comment down below your favorite ship if you didn't get it in time. Share this video with your friends and subscribe to our channel for more KotLC content. All right, let's get straight into the video. Alright, so I pulled up my first comment, and remember, I might not be able to get to all of you guys. I'll do the people who've commented earlier. Alright, so I pulled up the first comment. It is Addy Cradle. So this person says, Team Foster Keefe is the best. In the first book, I found Fitz charming and decided to ship him with Sophie. When I got to the second book with Fitz all angry at Sophie, I decided that he and Sophie wouldn't be good. Even his apology was depressing, my opinion. While Keefe has always been there, even if Keefe does something bad, it's usually for Sophie. It shows that he cares about her no matter what. There's that part where when Keefe feels her enhancing for the first time, then he smiles. Later he tells Sophie about the mind and the heart. I'm pretty sure that enhancing shows Sophie's heart and shows the hope that these two will end up together. This is just a little on my thought of why Team Foster Keefe is the best. I definitely agree with Addy Cradle right here because I think Keefe might be able to sense, her emotions and her heart to see that maybe Sophie actually has a feeling for Keefe, and Keefe doesn't just want to, say it, but he might actually feel it because he's an empath. And he has really strong empathy, so he might be able to feel Sophie's feelings for Keefe. So that is definitely a really good reason. Thank you, Addy Cradle, and sorry if I said your name wrong, but let's get on to the next ship. Alright, the next one we have is from Ruby Fox. I honestly think Sokeefe will last the series because they both went through some stuff, and they mostly share serious and personal things with each other, which I think is a very strong bond. Of course, Fitz will always be there, but that's just my opinion. I definitely agree with you, Ruby. There was a lot of parts in the book where Sophie and Keefe shared a lot of serious things, about their parents and all that type of stuff, and they definitely have a serious connection on an emotional level. So thank you, Ruby Fox. Let's get into the next ship. Alright, the next ship we have is by GamerPie, and this is a very short comment. I think Team Foster Keefe because Fitz was so clingy in Legacy, and Keefe was always there for Sophie no matter what. I also agree with this one because Fitz was a little bit clingy and saying like, oh, you haven't called me in a couple days, are you alright? And definitely Fitz was a little clingy, and he knows that Sophie is a moonlark and has a lot of responsibilities, so she might not have been able to call Fitz or something. And Keefe is definitely always there for Sophie. So thank you, GamerPie. Let's get into the next comment. This next comment is by Elise Granato. Sorry if I said your name wrong. So Elise says, I think Sokeefe definitely is the strongest ship and has the best chance of actually happening in the series. Sophie always helps Keefe, and Keefe is always there for Sophie and genuinely seems to have her best interest at heart. Yes, I definitely agree because Keefe and Sophie always help each other out a lot, and especially in the scene where Sophie is running back with Keefe in her arms, just trying to get him back, trying to make sure that Keefe stays alive and nothing bad happens to Keefe, and I definitely think that they both help each other out a lot. So thank you for the comment. Let's get into the next one. Alright, and this one is by Swimming Dragon. Definitely Sokeefe, because Keefe cares more about Sophie. His presents are much better than Fitz's. Sophie could have bought any of her presents herself, but Keefe's drawings are priceless. And yes, I definitely agree. I actually went through this in the best moments, that Keefe always gives Sophie great presents, and Fitz might give her a necklace or two, but she can always buy that. They start off with like $5 trillion. When Keefe does like a drawing, that's priceless. So I definitely agree with you on that one. Definitely Keefe has the upper hand on the presents part. Let's get into the next ship. Alright, this next ship is by Abby E, and this one was really funny. So Abby says, platonically, I think that Sylvanie and Keefe is the best ship because we all need that alicorn/elf positivity in our lives. I mean, who wouldn't want to hear Glitterput chanting Keefe, Keefe, Keefe at all hours of the day? That really made me laugh. I don't know if Abby was actually being serious, but it was definitely a funny one to actually think about. So thank you for that comment. Let's get into the next one. Alright, the next one we have is actually different than Sokeefe. So we have Joe W. Since they're all the ones I read so far are Sokeefe, here's this. I don't know why, but Morella and Lynn is one of my favorite ships. Second to Sokeefe because I'm totally a sucker for the polar opposite ships. Because opposites attract, right? I mean, everything about them totally contradicts each other. Fire, water, parent backgrounds. Lynn parents don't care for her. Morello's parents care about her. Morello cares about her parents too. Wanting to be able to decipher her mother's emotions. Lynn still cares for her parents, but if she had a choice between living on her own or with them, she would choose living on her own. Plus, without how much they have been hanging out together, they would at least develop a friendship. Forgive me, I'm wrong. This could be totally platonic, but I ship it. I love this ship because I actually do agree that opposites seem to attract more, and that, you know, they could totally connect on a different level because of their parents. And I do totally agree with this one, and I really like this ship. So let's get into the next ship. Sorry if I'm saying your name wrong, but this one is by Diani Porter, and Diani says Sophitz is the best ship. Sophie needs pockets and pockets need her. No boys, just pockets. This one made me laugh too, but then Diani goes on to say in another comment, Sokeefe will definitely happen in my opinion. Keefe does a lot of bad stuff, but it's for Sophie. He's trying to protect her, and it's a sweet gesture every time. This is charming, but it's also stubborn and bottles things inside until the last minute. Sophie would be good with both of them, but I think Keefe would be the best option. And I agree with this one because, you know, I don't think Sofitz is out of the blue, you know. I think that if Sokeefe didn't happen, I mean, I would be okay with Sofitz to happen. I just would want Sophie to at least land with one of them. And I agree that Keefe would be the best option, but as a plan B, I would say Sofitz is okay. If he clears up his anger issues, I'd be okay with it. Thank you, Diani, for the funny comment. All right, let's get into the next ship. So this one is by KotLC Fangirls. So I feel like everyone is saying Sokeefe, and I know you guys are Sokeefe, but hear me out. I ship Sofitz, and why would she date someone else if the reason she broke up with Fitz wasn't because she wasn't ready? And also in the books show, in movies where a girl has to pick between two boys, they usually date one. Break up, date the other, break up, then get back together with the first one. So I say Sokeefe will happen, but she dated Fitz, and they broke up, so she will date Keefe, then break up, then date Fitz again, and stay with Fitz. I do agree that, you know, in books or in movies, sometimes the girl has to pick between two guys, and it definitely is the first person that you date. So I do agree that, you know, Shannon could write this in that, you know, she dates Fitz, then she dates Keefe, then she goes back to Fitz. But I don't know if there's enough story for that actually to happen. You know, there's 2 books, so theoretically it would be Sokeefe in book 8.5 and Sofitz in book 9, if that's what you're trying to say. So thank you for the comment. I'll definitely look into that more. Let's get into the next one.
Alright, so the next ship is by Ginger T, and this person says, I think that Sokeefe is the best, because even though Fitz and Sophie are cute together and all, Keefe has always been on Sophie's side no matter what she does. And even if Keefe does something that upsets Sophie, Keefe is usually doing it for her own good. Yes, I definitely agree with this one. Fitz and Sophie, they were good together, to be honest, but I think that Keefe, is more on an emotional level with Sophie, and Keefe does bad things and reckless things for Sophie, so I do agree with you. Thank you so much, Ginger T, for the comment. Now let's get into the next ship. Alright, this is by Katie Bond. Sorry if I pronounced your last name wrong. So, she says, Sokeefe. Keefe will always sacrifice for Sophie and vice versa. Don't mean to pout on Fitzvie, but I need a comparison. In one book they were sitting together and Sophie felt like there was a chasm between them. In Legacy, when Keefe and Sophie were apart, it felt like their minds were holding hands. When Sophie is at her lowest, Keefe is always there. I hope this helps and have a nice day. Thank you, Katie. I definitely like this comparison because it actually compares, Sofitz and Sokeefe together. This might just be one instance, but I do see there is a noticeable difference between how they act together. But thank you so much, Katie. Let's get on to the next ship. Next one is by Dancing in the Rain, and this person says, since it doesn't specify a Sophie ship, my favorite is Dex and Biana. So Dex started the series hating the Vackers, so I think it would be very fitting for him to end up with one. Also, the two of them are very sweet and often left out of the group or forgotten by Sophie, which would have given them something to bond over. During Legacy, they seemed to be spending a lot of time together, and I thought it was really sweet. Even Sophie was picking up on it, and she's usually oblivious. And if they did end up together, Biana would be a Disney princess. So I definitely agree that there was a lot of good moments in Legacy, and I think they're warming up to each other. They do get left out of the group sometimes, and I think that they could definitely bond with each other. That's a really good ship. I love that ship. Thank you, Dancing in the Rain. Let's get on to the next one. Alright, this one is by Artesient. Unpopular opinion. Biana. People always ship Sophie with her male friends, but Biana also really cares about Sophie. Sure, Biana and Sophie haven't really gone through much, and they did have a rocky start. Biana is more controlled than Fitz. She doesn't have the same anger issues and is a much more common person. I ship Biana because I ship Cam, Keefe and Tam. Their personalities are so much alike, how could they not be together? Although Tam doesn't really like Keefe, I feel after Legacy, there seemed to be some mutual respect that was forged between them. I love these LGBTQ ships, and I especially love Cam also, because in their heads they don't like each other, but deep down, I think they would be a really good pair. And also Sophiana, I know that they did have a rocky start, but I think it's gotten way better over the past books. Thank you, Artesient. Let's get on to the next one. All right, this next one is by KotLC Keepers. This person says, a lot of people are saying Sokeefe, but I think Sofitz. I feel this because Sophie and Fitz have a stronger connection through telepathy or being cognates. I also think they might get back together at some point because Sophie and Fitz technically were taking a break. There were too many things going on for Sophie to have a relationship. I could go on and on about this, but I won't. But there's some strong points in here that they have a stronger connection because they do telepathy and cognate training together, so they have more time spending together and a better relationship. I definitely see that. And also I can see that they were technically in a break, so they could actually get back together, but just have to wait for the next book and see what happens. Thank you for the comment, KotLC Keepers. Let's go on to the next one. All right, this one is by Esther Johnson Lopez, and this person says, I love Sokeefe, but my second favorite is Biana. Biana and Dex both done well together. They are each brave, creative, funny, smart, and encouraging in different ways. So while the qualities are similar, they show themselves in different ways and help create both balance and connection. Dex values Biana's opinion, he appreciates her comfort, he cares about cheering her up, and he feels safe around her. I'm pretty sure he also admires her immensely. Biana often tries to help Dex feel included, doesn't underestimate or undermine him because of his background, and feels his importance of his role within the group. There were quite a few sweet moments between them in Legacy. I think they'll work because of the simplicity of the relationship now and the way they ultimately feel safe around each other. I definitely agree with this comment because there were a lot of good moments between them in Legacy, and they probably comfort each other about their struggles in life, and I do see this happening. This is one of my favorite ships as well, probably my second favorite. Thank you for the comment, Esther Johnson Lopez. I'll be doing one more after this one, so let's get into the last one. All right, this last one is by KotLC Nerd, and this person says, my favorite is Sokeefe. In the first book, Fitz was kind and patient with Sophie, but from the second book on, Fitz would usually take his anger out on Sophie, and he tends to blame things on her that aren't even her fault. Keefe has always been there for Sophie. He has sacrificed a lot to ensure her happiness, even going as far as risking his own life to make sure Sophie is okay. While a lot of the time the outcomes of Keefe's actions aren't necessarily good, his intentions are always for Sophie and her well-being. Keefe is always patient with Sophie and is always willing to lend an ear or a shoulder for her to cry on. When Sophie and Fitz started dating, Keefe put his own feelings aside in order to not interfere with their relationship. He's willing to let Sophie be with his best friend in order for her to be happy. Meanwhile, Fitz gets upset and jealous if Sophie and Keefe are even talking to each other. Keefe was supportive of her choice to not tell anyone about her birth mother, while Fitz tried to pressure her into finding her other birth parent. Fitz seemed to care more about his reputation than Sophie's feelings. Although I'm happy that Fitz apologized, the apology seemed a little half-hearted. These are just a few of the reasons why I think Sokeefe is the best and will work out in the end. Thank you for listening to my rant. Thank you so much, KotLC Nerd, for the long comment. I see that you have a lot of good points here. Fitz always is kind of, making sure that he has a good reputation because he's in the nobility, and the Vackers are really, really well-known people, and Keefe definitely had to be really patient to actually wait for Sophie and his best friend to stop dating. It must have been really hard for him to actually, just wake up every day and see Sophie and Fitz, being together, and he has a huge crush on Sophie, so he must have had a lot of trouble respecting that relationship. Thank you so much, KotLC Nerd. That was the last one I was going to be reviewing. Let's get into the outro. Alright everyone, this is going to be wrapping up the video. Thank you to all the people that actually submitted a comment. Sorry if I couldn't make yours. There was a lot of great ones that I couldn't get to because the video would be probably an hour long if I had to do all of them. But before we end this video, I want to do a little bit of a merch update. Thank you to all the people who have actually sent us merch ideas and actually sent us merch designs. There are a lot of great designs, and sorry if we haven't replied to you yet. We're really busy with the merch and the videos, and we will try to get back to you soon. We ourselves have ordered the merch. We are getting ready for the merch launch probably by the end of June. It just depends on when we actually get the merch and when we can create the video for you. So keep sending us great merch designs and merch ideas. We are going to continue to work hard on that and get it to you before July. That's the end of the merch updates. But before you go, like this video, comment down below your favorite ship and why it's the best and why it will work out in the long term. Love to see your guys' ideas. Share this video with anybody that's read KotLC, friends or family. Share it with them. Subscribe to our channel. We want to hit 4,000 subscribers by the end of the summer. Turn the notifications on to get notified on every upload we have. Join our channel for exclusive membership perks. You get so many cool perks like badges, emojis, exclusive videos, bloopers, all with just a small monthly fee. This was Austin from the KotLC fanbase. I hope you all have a great day. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.